Balance is one of the most misunderstood forces in the universe. Most people think balance means peace, calm, harmony, avoiding conflict. But true balance is not gentle. True balance is judgment. And judgment is one of the most powerful spiritual forces that exists. Today, we're talking about the sign of Libra, not as a personality trait, not as a relationship stereotype, and not as a romantic ideal, but as a living energetic law that exists inside every human being. Because Libra is not just a sign you are. It is a force you carry. And whether you are aware of it or not, Libra is constantly measuring, weighing, and responding to the choices you make, especially the choices you make with other people. Something very important needs to be understood before we go any further. If you have Libra as your sun sign, that does not mean you are only a Libra. If you don't have Libra as your sun sign, that does not mean Libra doesn't apply to you. Every human being carries all 12 zodiac signs within them. You are a walking zodiac. Each sign lives in your body. Each sign lives in your psyche. Each sign lives in your soul. The sun is only one part of that story. The moon is another part. And every other planet inside you expresses itself through a sign as well. So when we talk about Libra, we are not talking about labels. We are talking about energy. And to truly understand how any planet behaves in Libra, you must first understand the nature of Libra itself. Think of each zodiac sign as a magnet. There are 12 magnets in total. Each magnet only attracts very specific things. A regular magnet will not attract wood. It will not attract plastic. It only attracts what matches its nature. Libra works the same way. The sign of Libra attracts and manifests relationships, contracts, agreements, conflicts that must be resolved, moral dilemmas, justice, injustice, karma exchange between people. Libra does not attract isolation. It attracts interaction. And more importantly, it attracts consequences. Libra is the natural ruler of the 7th house in astrology. The 7th house is not just the house of marriage. It is the house of partnerships, open enemies, legal matters, contracts, social mirrors, karma that comes through other people. In other words, Libra governs the part of life where you cannot escape yourself because you meet yourself through others. In the human body, Libra rules the kidneys, the lower back, and the systems of filtration and balance. This is not symbolic, it is literal. The kidneys exist to filter impurities from the blood. They maintain equilibrium. They keep the internal environment stable. Libra does the same thing on a spiritual level. It filters right from wrong, fair from unfair, balance from excessive. And when this filtering system is ignored, the entire system begins to break down. Just like the body. The symbol of Libra is the scales. Not a person, not an animal, not a living creature. An instrument. This alone tells you something profound. Libra is not emotional by nature. It is measured. It weighs. It calculates. It assesses. Libra does not act impulsively. It responds based on law. Libra is strongest during twilight, the moment when day and night are equal. Not morning, not midnight. The in-between. This is the sign of transition, judgment, and choice. The direction associated with Libra is the west, the place where the sun sets. Symbolically, this represents the closing of cycles, the evaluation of what has already happened, the settling of accounts. Libra is ruled by Venus, but this is where many people misunderstand the sign. Venus in Libra is not just love, beauty, and romance. At its highest level, Venus represents value. What something is worth, what something costs, what something deserves. Libra asks a very uncomfortable question. Is this exchange fair? And if it isn't, Libra keeps the record. The element of Libra is air. Air is the element of perception, thought, and awareness. Libra does not judge emotionally like water. It does not judge instinctively like fire. It does not judge practically like earth. Libra judges mentally and ethically. This is the sign of moral intelligence. At its core nature, Libra is considered neutral, but do not confuse neutral with weak. Neutrality is power. Libra holds the center. And whoever controls the center controls the outcome. Libra is often described as indecisive, but this is a misunderstanding. Libra does not struggle to choose. Libra struggles to choose unjustly. Because once a choice is made, karma is activated. Libra understands that every decision creates a ripple. So it pauses. It weighs. It considers. Not because it is afraid, but because it is aware. Libra governs law, both human law and cosmic law. Judges, lawyers, mediators, diplomats, all fall under Libra. But so do karmic judges. The kind you never see. The kind that operates silently. The kind that balance things over time. Libra is not fast karma. It is accurate karma. This is why Libra is deeply tied to relationships. Every relationship is a contract, spoken or unspoken. Every bond has terms. Every exchange has a cost. Libra keeps track of who gave, who took, who sacrificed, who benefited. And when imbalance persists, Libra corrects it. Sometimes gently, sometimes harshly. Libra is the sign of open enemies. Not hidden enemies. Not secret enemies. Open enemies are people you interact with directly, where tension, conflict, or opposition exists in plain sight. Why? Because Libra forces resolution. Nothing hidden stays hidden forever in Libra. Everything comes to the table. Libra also governs marriage, not romance, but commitment. Marriage is a legal and karmic agreement. Two people bind their destinies. Libra asks, is this union fair? Is power balanced? Is respect mutual? When it is, Libra supports the bond. When it isn't, Libra destabilizes it until balance is restored, one way or another. Libra reveals how a person treats others. It shows ethical standards, sense of justice, willingness to compromise, ability to be accountable. This is why Libra is one of the most karmically active signs in the zodiac. What you do to others comes back through others. Libra also reveals how a person handles conflict. Do they seek truth? Or do they seek approval? Do they stand for what is right? Or do they sacrifice themselves to avoid discomfort? False peace is not balance. And Libra knows the difference. On a spiritual level, Libra is the gatekeeper of karma between souls. It determines what must be repaid, what must be forgiven, what must be resolved. This is not punishment. This is correction. Libra also governs choice. Every major turning point in life involves Libra energy. The moment you decide to stay or leave, to speak or stay silent, to forgive or hold resentment. That is Libra at work. When Libra is in balance, it creates justice, harmony, mutual respect, clean karma. When Libra is out of balance, it creates codependence, people-pleasing, avoidance, silent resentment, not chaos, suppression. And suppressed imbalance always resurfaces. Libra teaches one of the hardest spiritual lessons. You cannot save others by betraying yourself. You cannot maintain peace by lying to your soul. You cannot avoid karma by staying quiet. At its highest expression, Libra creates the peacemaker. Not the passive one, but the one who can stand in the center of conflict and restore order without losing integrity. This is spiritual mastery. And this is only the surface. Because Libra is not just about others. It is about self-judgment. How you judge yourself. How you value yourself. How you honor your own truth. That is where Libra becomes dangerous and transformative. Libra is not just about how you deal with others. Libra is about how your soul is weighed. And this is where the sign becomes deeply spiritual and deeply misunderstood. Because Libra does not only measure actions. It measures intent. It measures what you knew, what you ignored, what you chose anyway. On a karmic level, Libra is one of the most active signs in the entire zodiac. This is the sign where past life agreements resurface. You may not remember them consciously, but your soul does. That instant connection with someone, that immediate resistance, that strange sense of familiarity or imbalance. Those are not accidents. Those are unfinished contracts. Libra governs the karmic ties that form between souls, not just between personalities. This is why relationships under strong Libra influence often feel heavy, fated, hard to escape, difficult to define. They are not random. They are corrective. Libra does not bring people together just for love. It brings people together for resolution. Sometimes that resolution is harmony. Sometimes it is separation. But either way, balance must be restored. This is why Libra relationships often go through cycles of attraction, tension, compromise, resentment, rebalancing, until the lesson is learned. And if the lesson is not learned, the pattern repeats, with a different person, but the same dynamic. Libra is the mirror of the soul. What you refuse to see in yourself, you will meet in others. If you avoid confrontation, you will attract confrontational people. If you overgive, you will attract those who overtake. If you silence yourself, you will attract voices that overpower you, not as punishment, as reflection. One of the most difficult Libra lessons is learning the difference between peace and avoidance. Many people with strong Libra energy confuse the two. They keep the peace by staying quiet, agreeing outwardly while disagreeing inwardly, suppressing their needs, taking responsibility for other people's emotions. This creates imbalance, and imbalance creates debt. Libra debt is emotional debt, and emotional debt always demands repayment, sometimes through exhaustion, burnout, sudden relationship breakdowns, being forced into confrontation. Libra does not allow imbalance to last forever. This is why Libra can feel exhausting to live with, internally or externally. There is always a calculation happening, always a weighing, always a subtle tension between what feels right, what seems fair, what keeps things smooth, and eventually, something has to give. Libra is also the sign of self-judgment, not shame, judgment, how you evaluate your own worth, how you decide what you deserve, how you determine what is acceptable. If someone consistently accepts less than they deserve, Libra takes note, and life adjusts accordingly. This is why Libra placements often struggle with self-worth issues, not because they lack value, but because they constantly negotiate it. They ask, is this too much to ask for? Is it fair if I say no? Am I being selfish? Libra overthinks fairness at the expense of authenticity, until authenticity demands to be heard. At a higher level, Libra evolves from people-pleaser into truth-holder. This transformation is not gentle. It requires confrontation with others and with self. Libra's spiritual task is not to make everyone happy. It is to make things right. And right is not always comfortable. Libra governs moral law. This includes ethics, integrity, accountability, reciprocity. It asks, did you act with fairness, even when no one was watching? And it remembers the answer. This is why Libra karma often arrives through other people. You won't always face consequences alone. You'll face them in relationship, because relationship is where Libra operates. Libra also rules agreements, spoken and unspoken, promises, expectations, assumptions. When these are violated, Libra records the imbalance. An imbalance must be corrected. Libra does not rush. It is patient, sometimes unbearably so. But when correction comes, it is precise, and it often feels inevitable. At its highest expression, Libra creates the arbiter, the one who can see both sides, understand multiple perspectives, hold space without collapsing, make decisions rooted in principle. This is advanced spiritual maturity. Libra teaches discernment, not judgment in the human sense, discernment in the spiritual sense, knowing when to engage, withdraw, speak, walk away, without guilt. This is why Libra is associated with wisdom through experience, not theory. Libra learns through interaction, through trial, through consequence. Libra also governs justice delayed, not immediate reaction, not emotional retaliation, but eventual balance. This is why some people feel like they get away with things until they don't. Libra waits. On a soul level, Libra asks, are you honest in your exchanges? Do you respect boundaries, yours and others? Do you take responsibility for your role? These questions shape destiny. Libra also reveals how a person handles equality. Not everyone wants equality. Some want control disguised as harmony. Libra exposes that. When Libra is balanced, it creates mutual respect, clean endings, fair beginnings, aligned partnerships. When Libra is imbalanced, it creates chronic dissatisfaction, emotional bargaining, silent resentment, delayed explosions. The difference is awareness. Libra's greatest lesson is this. You cannot outsource your truth. No amount of approval can replace self-respect. When Libra integrates its lesson, it becomes powerful, not loud, not aggressive, but unshakable. This is the sign that understands that true balance does not come from avoiding tension. It comes from resolving it. Libra is not weak. It is restrained. And restraint is strength when chosen consciously. On the path of spiritual evolution, Libra marks the point where the soul learns responsibility within relationship. Not isolation, not domination, but conscious exchange. Libra asks us to become adults in how we love, how we argue, how we choose, and how we separate. Ultimately, Libra is about alignment. Alignment between thought, action, intention, Consequence. When these align, life flows. When they don't, Libra intervenes. Astrology is not doctrine. It is guidance. You are not bound by a sign. You are informed by it. You are given free will. And with free will comes responsibility. Libra reminds us that justice is not something that happens to us. It is something that moves through us. The kingdom is within you. So is the scale. And every day, it responds to how you live. When balance is honored, peace follows. When balance is ignored, correction comes. Either way, the law remains. And that is Libra.